you come on the market, you are, you are more into what I would term cultural stuff, right? Lifestyle stuff, from movies to production, all lifestyle stuff. But what do we say? The best thing I've heard is you can take the kid out of the immigrant country, but you can never take that
Uh,
culture out of him.
yeah,
Obviously, growing up in an immigrant home, I always remind everybody that your parents will never let you forget your culture, forget
never.
where you're from, forget things that you've done and whatnot. So for me, it's always interesting to hear anybody when they tell their story, because myself, it's very important for me. Obviously, my daughter will say the same thing, that I try to, bring her a little bit more of what, our culture is like. When I came into bourbon, one of the things that was important to me is to make sure that my culture, African culture, and whiskey become one, right? So I brought the food aspect of African culture and brought that in with the culinary aspect of African culture and bringing that with bourbon. So when I saw what you're doing there, bringing Japanese culture and bourbon, I'm like, one more. It's almost like one more arc, right? That is
Yeah,
created in this. Uh, how when I tell people that bourbon is not just a spirit, but it brings cultures together. This is
does.
this is a big deal, right? So your
Hmm.
friends come to you. He's like, hey, I want to bring this Japanese and culture, and bourbon together. You are the one living in bourbon region.
Hmm.
What do you respond? What do you tell them? You tell them you crazy. I'm thinking about this, but I don't want to do this. It's
Yeah,
too
at
insane.
first, it's hard, man. Like, you know how it is. Like, you start doubting yourself all of a sudden. You're like, am I the one that's supposed to do this? Like, am I worthy of taking on this feat? And we would just have the back and forth, and you know how it is. Like, there's an aspect where you want to respect and kind of bring your culture in, but you also don't want to make it a gimmick,
Correct.
you know and that is like the biggest thing. It's hard. So I'm like, how can we make this true in nature, in spirit, no pun intended, and also make it authentic without making it gimmicky? And
Correct.
what I thought is, and what can we do also that brings new things into this world, instead
Correct.
of just re-rinsing what somebody else has done. And even from the art, like, you thank you for mentioning the art. I collaborated. We had to collaborate with somebody that was truly of Japanese heritage, Japanese culture, to start, for sure. And Yuko Shimizu, a great artist and illustrator, she is absolutely amazing. Lives in New York. I was just with her this weekend, actually, to discuss next year's designs as well. But she, I talked to her, and she's from Japan as well, an immigrant from Japan, and we had the same vision. We said, hey, like, let's show the authenticity, but not just show things that are, just old, just to say it's cultural. You know what I mean? But bring it in.
Which,
But
which
bring,
which
bring
a lot of is kind of like the hardest balance ever, to keep
yeah,
authenticity, right, and without washing it with almost I like to call it make it a little too authentic or too traditional, where you
yeah.
lose that balance in
Then
between.
it gets on the nose. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Like,
Correct.
it becomes too much, and is almost like it's almost like killing its own momentum, in a sense. So
Correct.
I didn't want to do that. So even with the label, we said, like, let's do something that represents the culture in a historic way, but also let's bring it into the future. Let's not take some old scroll and just put it on the label. Let's create something of our own and bring it into the modern time, where we can enjoy it for what it is now, as it was before. So
Correct.
yeah, but no, all these things we talked to my business partner, and Justin, and he was like, hey, look, I love that. You have to be the face of it. You have to do it, and it has to be authentic to you. But if we can, as long as you do that, we'll be okay.
No
And so,
pressure. No
so-
pressure at all.
yeah, exactly. So that's what I've been doing. That was the big promise.
So you kind of, you bring in this artist. How did you find the artist? Is it by your own, previous life and production in that, or did you Is it
Oh
something?
man, this is awesome, and this is one of the great things about my business partner. He's very like fast acting on things, which is great. He immediately gets into action. So we were wanting to do. I was like, what can we call our first series? What could we do to really create a series of cool historic things that reflect Japan culture that we can put on our whiskey bottles? I said, "Hey, yokai, like the mischievous, like mythical creatures. There's a lot of them. There's a whole dictionary of them in Japan, and every time there's a weird phenomenon that happens that can't be explained back then, they would blame it on its each unique yokai.
Yokai, yeah.
So dragons were the same way, and demons, everything. It had a thing. It had a name for it as a yokai. So we thought we'd do that, and we're like, man, who can draw yokai really well and is part of their art, but also is authentic to what we're trying to do. So we looked on Google and we just started searching, and we found this really great yokai art of a bunch of yokai walking across the bridge. It looked like maybe like 1700s Kyoto, and we're like, oh, that's really cool. Like, I wonder who drew it. And we clicked on it, and it said Yuko Shimizu, and I'm like, wow. I mean, like, it would be really cool if we can collab with her. Next day, Justin called me like, "Hey, so I looked her up. I set up a meeting. We should talk to her, and we should see what we can do." And it just got the ball rolling. And within a week, probably of finding Yuko, we were on to the first project of creating the Tengu label, which is the red label right here, and the art, yeah, right here, and it's been. It's been an amazing collaboration since. So yeah, it happened pretty quick, but when you talk to somebody and they just understand what you're trying to go for, you just don't even have to explain it. That's kind of how it was, and it was just the most organic, amazing like vibe that we created in order to collaborate. So we had a lot of fun with it.
So you found a designer. You found the you found a designer. You have the idea. How do you come up with the juice?
Man, that was the biggest journey. I'd never been fully part of the back end of any bourbon industry or whiskey industry, so I was like, where do I start? So luckily, my business partner and a couple other of my friends, that I've never, it's funny, I call it activated, but sometimes you have friends and you kind of know what they do, but you kind of don't, because you're not in that area, and then and then all of a sudden you understand what they do, and you're like, oh, like it's like reactivating a friendship. So I'm asking my friends, I'm like, oh, don't you work for a bourbon? So didn't you used to do this? Didn't you do that? Do you have brokers? Do you know people that are selling barrels, this and this and this? So we went through the whole process from scratch and kind of learn how everything works. And then we were lucky enough to find a great broker, and also a company that my other business partners that also invested in, that kind of broker barrels as well. And I just, from there, I must have tasted 60 to 100 samples probably within those 2 months, just going back and forth. And what we ended up putting in the yokai, it was just something that I loved, and you're probably the same, but I love blinding things before. I don't want to know about what it is. I want to authentically know that it is objectively good for me, at least. You know what I mean? So I was tasting everything, and these barrels the barrel line for the Tengu, it was just one of those things where I tasted it, I'm like, what is this? And it was one of those like off to the side things that were off to the side sample barrels that I were just tasting. I'm like, this is what we want. And they're like, are you sure? Like, there's other cooler things. I'm like, no, this is it. This is powerful. It is exactly what the Tengu represents, and it matched so well with the with what the bottle in the yokai means for the first edition. So we out of all the samples, we picked that, and that's what we ran with, and luckily everybody's loved it. So
for all the people who never seen the yokai bottle, this is what the yokai bottle look like.
That's it.
It's pretty cool. If I have to say so myself, probably one of the coolest that I've seen there. Now I have this rule: if I get a bottle from a company, I will take a look at it and whatnot. But usually when I get a sample, regardless of what the sample is for an interview, it let me know if I should go buy a bottle or not, right? So this is the litmus test, right? Are we am I gonna go buy a bottle or not? We will know after the interview because now I get to try the juice. So
Nice.
you already released a few expressions. So
Mhm.
the the yokai series, I'm assuming, is going to be one of its kind.
Yeah, yeah. So yokai series, we'll make it come back every year, but with a different barrel line, a different yokai, a different art that represents a different style. So every every barrel obviously tastes different, but also every season that we call of yokai will have a little bit of a different characteristic to it. So it's not all gonna be hazmat per se, or it's all never gonna always be sweet or something else. You know what I mean? So it's we're trying to get to an adventure where when we get to a certain point, you can line it all up and you can kind of see visually the characteristics in the art like in one go, and that's what we're looking for. But yeah, it's mostly going to be a single barrel series every year, and it's going to be the ones we release from our from directly from us is going to be one of those things where like whatever released directly from our website in DTC, it's going to be something that I personally picked myself to release. So it's going to be my picks, you know what I mean? And then of course we have other barrel picks that happen here and there. So they'll have their take on it and I'll have my take on it. But it's the one thing I can assure you is that, everything that we put in the bottle that I taste a million times to make sure that I want to put it in the bottle. So there's nothing that's
You're
slipping by
saying
me.
these are all single barrel.
Yeah, the yokai series or most of them will all be single barrel. Yes.
So this I have in front of me is the batch two. I'm assuming that's the one on the market right now. So
Well,
batch
no,
two.
it's actually batch. It's the second release out of the three releases I've done. I wanted you to taste it because it's actually one of my personal favorites,
Okay.
and I wanted to see what you thought about it. So there's it's the one that's actually available the least right now because it
Yeah,
was
because I
yeah.
went on the website and I went and checked it out, and it seemed like batch two is there, but the hazmat proof is not there.
Yeah. So we have batch one, which was 143.2, which I'll be drinking with you,
Okay.
and what you have is batch two, which is 141.8, and then recently released a non hazmat 138.6, which is batch three, and I tell my friends, hazmat is just a number.
It
At the
is.
end of the
It is.
day,
It is
if it's
just
either
a number.
it's either good or it's not. But
So you guys in live now get to see me try batch 241.8 of
this
Mogan.
is exciting.
Is this so? Which bourbon are we talking about? Is this Indiana? Is this Kentucky?
This
What are
is
we talking?
Kentucky. This is
Oh,
Kentucky from Bardstown,
from
and
Barstow.
it's yeah, and it is a
Average age?
so all of them are around not like 9.5, nine and like three quarters years old.
Okay, Harry Potter.
Look at one. Oh man. Yeah, and they're
I mean, very candid nose. 141.8. I'm expecting a punch in my face with the ethanol, but the first thing that came immediately is that candied nose.
mhm,
Just remind me of like candy, caramel covered
mhm,
cherries and with cinnamon dust. So very spice. Ethanol is there, but for me is apples, is cherries, is yeah, it's a little bright citrus around there, so it's
mhm,
not scary on the nose at all.
And I
Um,
love that little bit of hint of citrus rind on it.
yeah,
It kind of
right.
uplifts it a little bit.
All right. Cheers. First time trying the
Here.
yokai.
Mm.
Mouthfeel. get an A plus. That's why I was asking the age. 141. Sometime the ethanol, obviously, I'm feeling that ethanol
Mm-hmm.
immediately, but right now is maraschino cherries, a lot of cinnamon. That
Mm-hmm.
cinnamon base is heavy
Mm-hmm.
on the cinnamon, but it's not hot. It's
Mm-hmm.
not it's not that, oh my god, that's that level of spice and hotness. That
Mm-hmm.
oak in the mid palate, hold on to your tongue beautifully, but
Mm-hmm.
it's not hot. It's not sharp. It's not hot. It's round. It's perfect. The ethanol, definitely you have to prepare yourself for.
Mm-hmm.
It's still 141.
Yeah, it's still at the end of the day. That's what I tell people. It's still 120 proof, one proof. It might not hit you in the face like something 141 proof will, but it's still gonna go down like it's 141. So,
it is 141. So you have to prepare yourself for that
hmm
ethanol.
hmm
You have to breathe out. I almost choked myself because I didn't breathe out. You have to breathe out, but the just the pure joy of drinking 141 and not feel like you're drinking 141
hmm
sometimes is the genius of what I feel sometimes comes to you.
hmm
The choice of that barrel, the choice of those elements that you want in.
hmm And the funny thing is, a lot of what we release is from the same barrel line, but they all differ so much. Like batch one that I'm drinking right now, I I use this in a lot of the times I do tastings. The first one seems like the older brother that joins a rock band, doesn't go to doesn't doesn't like going to school and just wants to rock, and it just comes out just punchy bold flavors. It's just very very much of a wild horse. Barrel two that you're drinking right now to me is the more elegant, subtle version of that. The second brother that still went to school and got good grades, but still has a little bit of a beast inside him, but he keeps it in because he's organized, he's patient. So I just love the contrast between all the barrels, and then the barrels that came up from Sealbox that our good friend Brian picked for Sealbox. I mean, it's a completely different barrel, so it's really just beautiful how we can just go from barrel to barrel. That even if they've sat in the same way, from the same place, they create so many different textures and so many different flavors. That's absolutely amazing.
Shout out to you. You have an amazing palate. For someone who was not 100% involved in the industry, you have a great palate, right?
Thank you.
Because choosing a single barrel can quickly be a miss. Um, I've seen a lot of people start shooting out their single barrels, and honestly, it was just a mess.
hmm
And either the juice was not old enough to actually sustain what he needs, or it wasn't good enough, or they chose something too young. So
hmm
obviously, well, but I, you can barrel this all day. It has character, it has growth, it has shape in the mouth.
hmm
It's solid. You almost cheated because you chose amazing juice as good age. Anything over 7 years for me is good juice to choose to start. But if these are going to be bangers and going to be alone, I don't know if this was intentional, but the finish reminds me, and I know is very cliche, but for me is licorice and umami. That finish
hmm
for stays long with you.
Yeah.
Like I'm salivating right now
Yeah, that
because of that
umami, I'm telling you.
citrus, that
Yeah, not
citrus
everybody
zest.
gets that one. That one is something I felt when I first had this stuff. It makes you this salivation on the sides, and I
Correct,
really love that aspect of it. Because combined with what you said, the licorice, the baking spice, and the orange peel and stuff like that, it almost seems like you're having this really bold cocktail.
correct.
It's fantastic.
That's how he felt. He felt like I was having a very, very, very black chocolate Ford Manhattan, right? So it's like
Amazing.
and like I said, he has his own personality. You are, it's a single barrel, so the target audience will get it and probably will buy one to drink, one to keep. Those are the one you buy one to drink, one to keep, because
Hmm.
you get it. After tasting it, if I'm looking at a single barrel, definitely you're making in my top 10 of the
Okay,
single barrels I would go after, because
appreciate it. Thank you so
but
much.
it is not also for beginners. This is
Mhm.
not, I just started in bourbon 2 days ago and I
No,
want,
definitely not. Definitely not. It is something that you work up to, but I had to make a decision, and obviously you've probably done enough barrel picks that you have to make a decision at some point especially when you do single barrels, is who are you trying to get at? You know what I mean? Are you trying to please the connoisseur? Are you trying to please the common folk? That might not be as much of a connoisseur and maybe newer to it. You have to really get inside your mind who you're making for, because if you don't choose, then it becomes a very separated, blurry bourbon to me, like
correct,
single barrel to me.
correct.
And at the beginning of this, when I tasted these barrels, I realized that's what I'm going for. I'm going to go for the person that has had a lot of things and is picking up this bottle saying, man, I've had a lot of things. I don't know if I don't know about this, but let's see what it goes, and make that face that you made. Like that's what I
Right.
was going for. So yeah, that's the decision from the beginning, that we were going to barrel something that is for the nerds, is for the bourbon chasers, the people that know what they're talking about, as well as know what they're tasting. And so we packed a punch inside a bottle and send it out, um, and everybody's been really saying such kind words about it and supporting us. So and also talking about the art, like I thought it would be more bourbon forward in conversation, but everybody's loving the art, and it just makes me very, very happy that people are
It would
paying
be
attention to
hard for
things.
you to hate this bottle design. You have to be 100% hater, a true hater, to just not love this design. Now, for maybe a Japanese whiskey lover, they may be confused and trying to pick it up, but when it comes to the art itself, there's no way you can love this art. For me, is amazing.
Thank you,
So
appreciate it.
you are starting slow, right?
Hmm.
I'm
Hmm.
hoping, right? You are
Yes.
you're kind of new in, so I'm glad I'm one of the first people to have you on, for you to
Hmm.
speak about what's happening and what is there. So talk to me. 3 years from now, right? When we're in 2028, where do we see, maybe your business partner may have a different idea, but where do we see Morgan Spirit? Do
Yeah,
we see it
So
expanding?
Mugen, yeah, Mugen, man. It's so we kind of have right now we have like four planned phases right now, of our products and our story. And on the label, the back label, and the very bottom, it says a love letter from Kentucky to Japan. Because that's what it is. This whole company is a love letter from Kentucky to Japan, because if wherever I could not completely belong 100% culturally, this bottle can belong there, and it can be like us, where it's okay to be a part of different things at once, and not trying to find that struggle, or also journey of finding identity. So we're starting in Kentucky. That's why we started with bourbon first, and from there we're going to slowly move on to bourbon. Later on this year we'll announce it, but we're going to start to take bourbon and rest it in premium Japanese whiskey casks in collaborations.
Now we
Um,
talking.
yeah, and everybody's like, "Oh, is it Mizunara cask?" I'm like, "Yeah, we'll have Mizunara here and there, but no, like this is actual barrels that had Japanese whiskey in them." And I love what a lot of people like Ichiro's Malt, Chichibu whiskey and
Right.
Kanosuke and everybody's doing,
Yeah.
and they're doing innovative stuff by using new charred American oak and all those things. And I'm like, why can't we reflect that as well? So that's something that we're getting into, and then from there we'll slowly make it into blending both, which is craft heritage grain Japanese whiskey that we're collaborating with them next year. That will blend with Kentucky bourbon, and it will be one of the first or one of the first intentional blendings of the two cultures and two whiskeys. And our lovely partners over in Japan are very excited to do this. So I'm later on this year, I'll be going to Japan myself to go get some of these barrels. So that'll be very exciting. And then also we do want to highlight a lot of Japanese whiskey that's doing bourbon mash bill things, like as well as Japanese whiskey that are getting away from the original 86 proof single malt characteristic and trying new things, trying cask strength, trying new different types of oak, trying a different entry proof, than what was set by, Centauri and Nika, in the 70s and 80s, like trying different things and experimenting. And I thought, what a better way to showcase this than to collaborate with them and give them the audience that they deserve. So we're doing a bunch of different things in collaboration, not just bourbon with Japanese culture and art, but also actual collaborations with the product as well.
Oh, I can't wait. I feel like that totally will set you apart from the average independent bottler trying to bring out just one or two things. I think this definitely will set you apart. Let's answer the question, which is my next question. When I know you're in batch 3 right now, when should people expect the next drop of Mugen?
Okay, so I will not say an exact date yet, but there's a very big month for us coming up, in the bourbon community, very soon. And
you heard it here first. There is a big month coming. So if you have not done it yet, or if you're looking it up and you don't know how, I need you to actually take a minute of your day. And first thing I want you to do is Mugen. That's Mugen, Mugen spirit.com, right? Go there and literally get you. The first thing you're gonna see when you go there is your email. Enter your email so you can be notified. Even me, myself, I just enter my own email so I can be notified of what's happening, because I feel like that's how you support. You support a brand is going. I'm gonna display it right now for the people that actually are a little dyslexic like me. It is Mugen Spirit, so you can't miss it. Mugen Spirits spirit.com. Go there, sign up. You can catch them on Instagram as well, and Mugen Spirit. So
yes, and the list on the email list always knows first. We always keep that very, very, very strict. So and it costs nothing to do it. So just keep up with us, and we will be we'll be notifying the list of a great opportunity soon in our beloved Bourbon Heritage Month that's coming up soon.
So Bourbon Heritage Month, there's a lot of bourbon at Mugen. Very, very, for all of you guys, especially for all of you guys who love those quote unquote hazmat barrel. It always sell out. No one get a chance to see it. Hey, check out Mugen. That's another place where you can actually grab something that actually work. So the question I ask most guests before we have to actually launch off is the same. How do we support you, right? We heard your story. You, from your heritage in Japan to having one of your business partner wanted to do bourbon, and now you have this bourbon brand that eventually is going to evolve in more independent bottling, bringing Japanese whiskey and culture and Kentucky whiskey and culture, bringing that as one. For you actually doing single barrel, so people to actually know the type of the caliber of palette that we're talking about behind the brand. 3 batches already released out. So how do we support you so you keep growing, so these dreams and aspirations come through, right? How's the average consumer supports you?
Well, man, I mean, it's the most amazing thing is that the support that we've been getting constantly on social media, as well as just emails and messages that I get. have been overwhelming, and I just cannot be like happy and like just grateful enough for it. But there's only a few simple things that I would ever ask, and is that you take that bottle, you share it with people, you talk about it, let me know what you think. If you don't like it, tell me. You can tell me you don't like it. You can, but if you like it, but
you have tough skin. You have
exactly. You and I both know that you got to have tough skin to be in this industry.
That's
So
true.
you can tell us, but communicate with us. Tell us how you think, what do you think, and what you want, and your hopes and dreams about what where you see us at, as well as just sharing the bottle and making sure that we're still a small company, so we don't have a lot of out there, but every pour counts in terms of please, like, share it with people, and discuss it and have fun, and take it to your dad's outing, and pour it for him, and tell him that there's such thing as hazmat bourbon that people are chasing for some reason. Start a conversation, be about it, and definitely talk about the cultural aspect behind it, because it's very interesting, and we work very hard to make sure that you're in the know of what we're doing as much as we do. So just take
Which brings the question: if someone want to share it with others, what's the best place to find Mugen?
So Mugen, right now we are on DTC. We're just slowly releasing it, and creating the lore behind it. So the best way to get a hold of a bottle, or find a bottle, is signing up for that email list. That email list will always be the closest thing to being able to purchase a bottle. So and I wish I could share it with more people, but the barrel is the barrel. So I travel everywhere. I just came back from New York, about to fly to Seattle, about to fly to Dallas. Like, trying to share it as much as possible. But if you can help me by going there, if you get a bottle, great. Like love it and cherish it as much as you deserve it. But also share it with people, and take it to places, and we will keep on putting things out for you that on that website. That will hopefully will help you, assist you in having those moments.
Let me see here. I did tell people about checking out the website. Let me see if we can actually have it where we can show the folks a little bit about the website. Yeah, perfect. If you watch it now, this is on the homepage of Mugen. These are each one and two. You can click on it and see if you can actually grab yourself one.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Wow, that's
really
intuitive. That's a good instructional. Thank you for doing that.
no. That's what we can do to support. So I wanted to remind everyone: go on the website Mugen Spirit, then grab
Mhm,
yourself one.
mhm, yeah.
You already paid more than that. I'll pay the 139 for 141.8 proof. A little bit of water would not kill this whiskey at all if that proof is not yet. But taste what Kojin try to do here, right? Taste it, challenge it, and
Yeah,
sometimes it's just tell them I don't like what you're trying to do here, and that's also it's okay. But
it's fine.
you know
Yeah.
what? It's okay to actually. That's one thing I love about whiskey, and that's what you're doing, right? We are from so many different part of this world, and
Mhm,
this brown liquid bring us all together, and we want
exactly.
to see more of that. So I will encourage everybody check them out, right? And what is your own Instagram for people to actually check out what your journey
Yeah.
trying to share this thing with folks?
hmm Yeah, so my personal Instagram is very easy. It's just Kojin Tashiro, like at Kojin Tashiro. It's my full name. Keep it easy. And then also at Mugen Spirit is where we do communicate a lot of the things that we do in the company, and how we do it, and some of the backstage features that otherwise you wouldn't be able to see. So definitely follow that as well, and keep up with what we're doing.
Absolutely. So I just want to make sure you know if you're here, his name is Kojin Tashiro. He's one of the brains behind Morgan Spirit. If you have not seen this bottle around, this is your opportunity to definitely check out this brand. Definitely check out this bottle, single barrel. So you definitely get one of what 200 or 300, and you actually get a chance to try something that is particular. Culture, whiskey, people. That's all the business is about. Till next time, this was The Truth is Barrel Proof. I'm Jack Bigedu, also known as the Hood Sommelier, and catch us in more episode. This will be available on YouTube for you to review and Facebook for you to review later. People on Instagram are watching and they're excited. Thank you so much for making the time, Coach, and I appreciate you coming here and us actually trying your spirit. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
people
appreciate your invitation, and I love what you're doing, and you representing your culture, and hopefully we can keep on doing it and spreading the love across countries and across universes.
absolutely. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you being here. And hey, I'm waiting for the. I can't wait for something new. So a year or two from now, you're back here so we can talk about all the things that happened.
Oh, of
Okay.
course,
I
always,
wish you a
always.
lot of success. This is now your home. The Truth is Barrel Proof podcast is your home. If you have anything to say, make sure you send it our way. We will love to share with the folks.
Thank you, appreciate it so much.
And we'll see you next time. Cheers.